Okay students, in this lecture we are going to learn design of footing. So first of all we will find out how much load on the footing. In the previous lecture we learned a design of column, and right now here is a factor load on footing by a column. So this 2325.8 kilonewton load is from column. Okay, this load from the column on footing, and here is the size of column which we decide 300 mm by 600 mm. Now right now here is a bearing capacity of soil 200 kN per meter square, which is given in the example. Okay, means we have all the data. We have a load on the footing, we have a size of column and soil bearing capacity. What is missing? Missing is footing, is foundation design. So if I am say there is a load from the footing and here is a soil bearing capacity here, so I have make some section here which will resist a load, which will transfer a load from the footing to soil, sorry, from the build column to soil. So in this section it's called footing, which is used for the transfer of load from column to soil. Okay, here is a concrete grade and steel grade. So first we have to decide the size of footing. So what is the size of footing? Size of footing is design working load. This, okay, design working load means 2325.8 is a factor load. 2325.8 it's a factor load. So what we do, we divide by 1.5. So find a working load, 1550.5 kilonewton. 1550.5 kilonewton. This load is called working load, means actual load is applied this, and this factor load 2325. Okay, now 1550 kilonewton is working load, and add 10% self weight of footing. So for the design of footing we need a self weight of footing. Okay, how can you find out self weight of footing without doesn't know the size of footing? We didn't find out. So we what we do, we assume a self weight of footing by adding 10%, of working load. Okay, so here is a 1550 kilonewton, it's a working load on the column, sorry, on the footing by a column, but it's a 155 kilonewton. 155 kilonewton. This load is footing self weight. This load is footing self weight, and right now we have find a total load is summation of these two value. Summation of these two value, we find out this value, 1705.5 kilonewton. 1705.5 kilonewton. Okay, and thereafter we can find out the area of footing required. Area of footing required, this is the equation for the total load divided by SPC. Total load divided by SPC. Little bit small here. Yeah, great. Total load divided by SPC. Okay, it's a total load 17705 divided by 200. 1705.5 divided by 200. So area of footing is required 5.58 meter square, sorry, 8.53 meter square. These are the area required for the footing. Okay, and then after, okay, so right now we are going to find out dimension, different dimension of footing. Means here it's a footing, we have the area here 8.53, it's area, okay, but we need a dimension, width, we need a width or length, we need this. So for the find out is, we have the footing is rectangular. How I decide the footing is rectangular? Simple method. If column is rectangular, column shape is rectangular, we need a footing shape in a rectangular shape. Simple logic. If your footing is column is square, your footing will be square. If your footing column is rectangular, footing will be rectangular. Why this? Because footing is used for the transfer load from column to soil. Okay, and in this case, if your shape is mismatch, if your column is square and you decide a rectangular, then after your footing will not transfer a load from the soil in isolated form. In a isolated form. What is isolated? Isolated means your uh, load distributed equally. Your load is distributed equally. So for I design isolated footing, we have to decide square column with a square footing, rectangular column with a rectangular footing. Okay, they are the simple logic here. Okay, so footing is rectangular, and right now we are going to design a column. The difference between dimension of column 0.6 minus 0.3 to 0.3 meter. These are the difference between size of column 0.3 meter. 6 meter is length and 3 meter is width, so 0.3 meter is a difference between dimension of column. So here is the equation here. What is equation? It's length or width is equal to area. So length B, I assume a footing. Here is a footing. I assume footing dimension is B, and here is a D. So B I assume as a B. So D is equal to B plus 0.3. These are assumed. Okay. So what we do? B into D is equal to 8.53. Okay. So B plus 0.3 is 8.53. So B square 0.3B minus 8.53 is equal to 0. By this equation, after this solving the equation, I got a B value is 2.77 or 2.85. 2.85, and depth D is 3.50 meter. So size of footing, what I assume, 2.85 meter or 3.15 meter. Okay. So size of footing is decided here, 2.85 meter or 2.85 by 3.15 meter. Okay. And here is a total area required, A. 2.85 into 3.50 is equal to 8.98 meter square, which is required is 8.53 meter square. So we have provided more than we required, so our design is safe, our design is okay, footing size is okay. Now we have to design the net upward pressure. We will find out net upward pressure. Okay, so P is equal to factor column load divided by area of footing provided. Factor column load divided by area of footing provided. So P is equal to factor column load 2325.8 divided by 8.98, which we provided. So net upward pressure is 2.59 kilonewton per meter square. 2.59 kilonewton per meter square. So net upward pressure we find it. Okay. So by the net upward pressure we can find out bending moment. We can find out a bending moment. So here is a figure. So bending moment is maximum at the face of column. So for the find out maximum bending moment, we have to find out a bending moment at the face of column. Okay. So we will find out. There is UDL along x direction, P into 2.85, P into 2.85. So UDL along x direction means what? Look at here figure along x means this direction, and along y means this direction. Okay. We found out net upward pressure. We find out net upward pressure. but this load will be UDL, means isolated distributed load. Load is isolated distributed, so means what? Your load is distributed equally. Load is distributed equally. So I can say there is a, here is the length is 2.85 meter, 2850 mm. Okay, these are the length. So our load, which is upward load, 259. So 259, this load distributed equally, means I can assume this as a beam, is slab, I assume as a beam here. I assume this footing as a beam. So as a beam, I can say here is the UDL load, which is 2.59. So UDL along x direction, P into 2.85. 2.85 is the length. 2.85 is the length. So along UDL x direction, load is 738 into 50 kilonewton per meter. 738 into 50 kilonewton per meter. Same for the y direction. 259 is a load, upward load, and 3.85 is the length. So UDL along y direction, 8.15 into 85 kilonewton per meter. 8.15.85 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so right, so by this load we can find out the maximum bending moment. We can find out the maximum bending moment. But when we go to where we get a maximum bending moment, okay, you can see here is a UDL. If it's a beam, it's a UDL. Your maximum bending moment at the center, you can say it easily. Okay, but here is a footing. It's a footing. So in the footing, at which point you got a maximum bending moment? At which point? So in the footing, at a column of footing, at the face of column. In the footing, here is a footing and here is a column. So at the face of column, you can find out maximum bending moment. So we will find out the maximum bending moment at the face of column. So for the find out maximum bending moment, here MUY WL square by 2, WL square by 2, WL square by 2 in a y direction. Okay, in a section y. Here is a footing, it's x direction. This section called x and this section called y. Okay, so WL square by 2 is y is 3.15 or 2.85. okay, these are the footing dimension. So W is, here is a length is 1.275. why this happened? Here is a column. Okay, here is a column. Okay, simple logic is here. Yeah, I can explain it in the figure. Yeah, here. For the y direction, we will need this distance. Because find a maximum bending moment at a column face. So these are the length, WL square by 8. This is the equation. W is we find out. Okay, L is missing, length is missing. How can you find out the length? Divide a column and footing in a two part. Okay, these are two directions. Okay, this is the okay, these are the axis passes from the center of the column and as well as footing. Okay, so from the center, this is the half length. This is the half length. 2850 half. 2850 divided by 2. So your value is 1425, and here is 150. So 1425 minus 150, you have get the value is 1275. 1275. Understood how we get this length? Same formula for this x, from this x. Okay, so 1275 is the length. Okay, WL square by 2 equation. So 738.50 into 1.275 whole square divided by 2. So MUY is 600 kilonewton per meter. MUX 663.13 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Then after we will find out depth of footing. For the depth of footing, here is the equation. MUX 0.138 FCK BDX square. Okay. So B is a width resisting section. So 600 plus 2.75 to 750 mm. 750 mm. So what is this B? B. Okay, 750 mm. MUX. By this equation, you can find out the depth of footing. DX is equal to 566 mm. 566 mm. So it's required depth on x direction. Required depth on x direction 566 mm. These are the required depth of footing by x direction. Okay. And same formula for the y direction. MUY is equal to 0.138 FCK BDY square. MUY is equal to 0.138 FCK BDY square. Same B, 300 plus 0.275 450 mm. Okay, so by this equation you can find out dy 695 mm. For the x direction we require 596 or dy 695, which is maximum we will use it. So for the design footing we use overall depth is 800 mm. Overall depth is 800 mm. And then after we will find out, we will calculate, we will calculate effective depth dy and dx. 800 minus 50 mm cover, 12 mm dia, 12 by 2, so 6, so 744 mm, and dx 744 minus 12 is equal to 732 mm. So average depth is 738 mm. So for the design of footing we will use 738 mm average depth. Okay, now, right now we are going to design a slope footing. So edge of depth 230 mm is fixed. So 738 mm is what? Okay, here is a sloping footing, and 738 is 800 mm overall depth. Here is 230. Okay. Right. Then after we were going to design the reinforcement detail along x, mu upon bd square. Moment is find out MUY b square 744 into 7440 whole square, so 2.40. By this MUY equation we will find out PT. By the PT we can find out AST. You understand easily these things. PT divided by 100 into B into D. So AST is 2670. We use a 12 mm diameter bar. So 24 numbers of bar is provided. Okay, along x direction. 12 mm diameter bar at 24 numbers provided along x direction. Check for a cracking. So clear distance between the footing we will find out. So 2850 is the length, 100 is cover, and 12 is diameter of bar, and 23 we provided 24 numbers of bar minus 1, so 23. So value is 110. And center to center distance 119.04 minus 12, So 107.04 mm, we required 80 mm, so design is okay. For the check 107.04 mm, 107.04 mm we provided what we required, maximum 108 mm, sorry 180 mm, 180 mm. So we provided less than we required. So our design is for safe for the cracking. Same formula used for the design reinforcement along y direction. MUX, PT, AST provided 12 mm dia at 25 numbers of bar. Okay, same MUX is equal to B by D. So MU we find out earlier. So B is 750 into 732 whole square. So 1.65. PT is 0.512 percentage. AST PT BD by 100. So provided 12 mm dia 25 numbers of bar. Same formula for the check for a cracking. For a check for the cracking, clear distance between the bar. Here value is 114.58, less than 180 mm. So our design is safe. Our design is safe for the cracking. And right now we are going to find out check for the one-way shear. Check for the one-way shear. So for the one-way shear, we assume critical section as depth 744 mm from the face of column, 744 mm. Y dash minus divided by 531, 570 divided by 1275. So y dash is equal to 237.38. D dash is equal to y dash plus 230 minus 50 minus 6 minus 6. So 237.80 plus 230.50 minus 6. So D dash is 411.38. D dash is 411.38. Okay, so these are the slope. Here is 230. So here is make one triangle here. So we need this depth. We need this depth. So we find out this depth by this equation. Y dash divided by 531 is equal to 570 divided by 1275. Okay, how we get this value? 570 is a simple value is 800 minus 230. It's age 230. Okay, so overall depth is 570 divided by 1275. It's the length and height. Same for the y dash. So here is height is missing. Length we know. 1275 minus effective depth. 735 almost. So value is 531. So y dash is 237.838. So d dash is 411.38. Is 230 is age, 50 is cover, and 6 is the bar diameter. Same B dash required, width of column plus 2D. So B dash is 1788 mm. So by this value we can find out the shear force at critical section VU. So VU used by P into H area to 278 into 2.87 into 0.53. So VU is 391.95 kilonewton. Here is a shear force VU. Now we need a MU at a critical section WL square by 2. So 738.50 into 531 whole square divided by 2. So moment is 104.06 kilonewton per meter. 104.06 kilonewton into meter. Right now 10 beta. tan beta. Here slope shape beta. So tan beta 570 divided by 1275 is equal to 0.447. 0.447. By this equation we can find out tau b. Tau b is equal to Vu minus mu upon d dash into tan beta divided by b dash d dash. Vu we find out 391.95. So by this all equation we can find out tau b 0.38 Newton per mm square. 0.38 Newton per mm square. Okay. So by this equation we can find out Pt. Tau b is 0.138 Newton per mm square, which is applied. Okay, which is applied on the column. Right now we will find out Pt. 100 into 275 divided by 1780 into 411.38. So Pt is 0.369. So tau c is 0.42. How we find out tau c? From the from the IS 456-2000 page number 73 table 19. So by this value 0.42 we can say tau v is less than tau c. Okay, so our design is safe. Design is safe along y direction. Same you have to follow for the check along x direction. Now we are going to check for the 2s here. Check for the 2s here. So average depth is 378. For the 2s here section is d by 2. In the 1-way here we take a distance d, and for the 2s here we take a d by 2 from the face of column. So here is a d by 2 369 mm. So same formula here, y dash divide height by length is equal to height by length. So y dash is 405 meter. So overall d dash is d dash is 567 mm. So Vu is equal to P into H area. P into H area. So 259 is 3.50 into 2.85. 3.50 into 2.85 minus 1338 into 1.038. So Vu is 1965.46. So tau v is equal to Vu upon B0 d dash. So tau v is 0.729 Newton per mm square. Tau v is 0.729 Newton per mm square. In the 2-ways here check we will find out tau c dash. Tau c dash is equal to Kc into tau c. So Kc is equal to 0.5 into Bc. Bc means small dimension of column divided by largest dimension of column. So 0.5 plus 300. So 0.1. Kc is 1. Okay. From the tau c we can find out from IS to here is value 0.25 under root FCK. 0.25 under root FCK. FCK is 20. So tau c value is 0.11 Newton per mm square. 0.11 Newton per mm square. Tau c dash is equal to Kc tau c. So tau c dash is 1.11 Newton per mm square. So here is a tau c less than tau c dash. Sorry, tau v less than tau c dash. So our design is safe for the 2-ways here. So both check is completed. Now we are going to check for the development length. Check for the development length. So development length equation is 0.47%, 47 diameter. 47 into diameter. Diameter is 12 mm diameter we use for the footing. So required is 567 mm required. Okay. And LD provided from face. LD provided from face to 1275 minus 50. 50 is cover. 50 is cover which we provide from here. So 50 is cover. So overall value is 1205 mm. which is more than 567 mm, 564 mm. So our design is safe, our structure design is okay, our footing design is completed. Here you can see the elevation, here is a plan, here is a two reinforcement here. Here is a column, 12 mm diameter, 21 numbers, 12 mm diameter, 25 numbers. Here is a dimension. Here is the overall depth, 230 edge depth, 75 mm is edge with a column. 6 number of bar is 28 diameter, column 300 by 60. Here is all reinforcement. 12 mm diameter, 21 numbers, and 12 mm diameter, 25 numbers. Okay, so our footing design is completed here.